Hello, my name is Galina Kurdina. I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I am a victim of fascist mind control experimentation here. Today, I would like to talk to you about our two petitions that were tabled in the House of Commons. Our group submitted a petition against misuse of psychotronic weapons to Member of Parliament Mr. John McKay on the 23rd of November 2011. The petition was presented, tabled in the House of Commons in Ottawa. Its number was 411-0188. More than 1,000 signatures for the petition were collected by our organization. An answer of the Canadian government was, the government takes note of the petitioner's concerns. However, the government has no information on any such activities. I sent the petition with signatures and the answer of the Canadian government to the Human Rights Committee of UN by a registered letter on the 28th of March 2012. UN received and confirmed it but didn't answer. My comrades and I collected more than 3,000 signatures for the second petition against misuse of psychotronic weapons. Member of Parliament Mr. John McKay tabled this petition on the 3rd of May 2018. Its number was 421-02313. I have received the second, almost identical answer from the Canadian government that it took notes of the petitioner's concerns but had no information on any such activities. I would like to remind you text of the first petition. Text of the second petition was very close to it, so it doesn't make sense to read two petitions. The first one will be enough. So, petition to the House of Commons. We, the undersigned residents of Canada, draw the attention of the House of Commons to the following. That, first, there are individuals in this country, victims of psychotronic mind and body control weapons, who are being targeted unjustly or used as human subjects in experiments without their informed consent. Victims of mind-body control detail the most extreme and totalitarian violations of human rights and human history. Criminals may implant people with microchips and nanomaterials and place them under continuous surveillance. They monitor the human brain, continuously alter consciousness and behavior, directly assault and torture mind and bodies of the human subjects. These are some of the symptoms that targeted individuals may experience. Microwave hearing, torture with loud noise, visual hallucinations, dreams, reading thoughts, retrieving memories, manipulation of thoughts, will, emotions, desires, and perceptions, manipulation of human behavior, forced speech, involuntary body movements, transmission of specific commands into the subconscious, compulsory execution of these commands, i.e., the Manchurian Candidate effect, debilitation of mental acuity, loss of memory, sleep deprivation or uncontrollable sleep, cramps, spasms, excruciating artificial pain in any part of the body, manipulation of body systems, including heart attacks and other serious medical conditions. Second, some victims are subject to harassment and organized stalking in their communities. Some victims receive false psychiatric diagnoses and in addition become victims of the system from which they are seeking help, medical institutions as well as law enforcement. Three, the misuse of such brain and body manipulation technology directly undermines the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Therefore, your petitioners request that the House of Commons would appoint a public inquiry in Canada to get to the bottom of these gross violations of human rights based upon the evidence collected by victims for many years. Goals of the public inquiry should include end of misuse of the mind control technologies, compensation of involuntary human subjects for their damages, removal of any materials implanted in human subjects, such as microchips or nanomaterials that send signals to their mind and bodies. People responsible should be exposed and brought to justice for these unspeakable crimes against humanity. In October this year, I decided to request information regarding these two petitions from House of Commons. I sent the first request to the clerk of petitions in the House of Commons in October this year, 2025. I received the first answer from the clerk of petition on the 20th of October this year, 2025. Good day. Thank you for your inquiry. Please note that the House of Commons does not retain copies of petitions from previous parliaments. However, the Library of Parliament is responsible for providing access to sessional papers, which include tabled documents. In order to obtain a copy of the sessional papers, 411-0188 and 421-02313 related to the petitions you are looking for, we recommend contacting the Library of Parliament Information Service. And they gave me their email address and phone number: info@parl.gc.ca, and toll-free number 1-866-599-4999. The Library of Parliament should be able to assist you with this request. Best regard, and name of Clerk of Petitions, Emily Thivierge. Okay, I made a request to the Library of House of Commons, and I received an answer from this department at the end of October this year, 2025. Dear Galina Kurdina, thank you for your email. Please note that although our office was unable to locate the original copies of petitions 411-0188 and 421-02313, we were able to locate the according sessional paper numbers of the government responses as tabled in the House of Commons. You may find attached the following sessional papers, as well as the House of Commons sessional paper legal disclaimer. First, 8545-411-42-01 as response to petition 411-0188. This is our first petition. And 8545-421-210-82 as response to petition 421-02313. This is our second petition. In the event that you were looking to access the original text of the petitions, we suggest that you contact Library and Archives Canada, LAC, who are responsible for archiving materials of for the House of Commons. Library and Archives Canada, their telephone number 613-996-5115, or toll free 1-866-578-7777. Sincerely, Parliament of Canada, and blah blah blah. Okay, I made a request to the Library and Archives Department of Parliament of Canadian Parliament. At the beginning of November this year, 2025, I received answer from this department, Library and Archives. Dear Galina Kurdina, thank you for your request to Library and Archives Canada, LAC, about obtaining copies of government petitions. Unfortunately, LAC does not yet have this material in its collection. I remind you that they were tabled in the House of Commons in 2011 and 2018, and today is November of 2025. So again, unfortunately, LAC does not yet have this material in its collection. To obtain these petitions, you would need to contact the clerk of petitions at the House of Commons. More information can be found here, and they gave URL address of contacts of Canadian Parliament, House of Commons. I hope you find this helpful. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any further questions. Warm regards, Astra Eve 3 Old, Reference Technician, Access and Services Branch. So, what they did, they redirected us back to Clerk of Petitions. Okay, I made the second request to Library and Archives in Canadian Parliament. Dear Sir, Madam, unfortunately, Clerk of Petitions referred me to House of Commons Library Department, and Library Department redirected me to your service. Please find out why House of Commons deleted information about our petitions. Texts of these petitions are attached to the email. Sincerely, Galina Kurdina. Unfortunately, I have not received any answers from Library and Archive Department in Canadian Parliament. I would like to stress that Canadian government and Canadian Parliament deleted texts of our two first petitions in the Library and Archive departments of Canadian Parliament. There are no texts of our petitions, only answers for these petitions from Canadian government that they took notes about these activities but didn't have any information about them. Only these answers of Canadian governments are saved and kept by Canadian Parliament. However, our texts of our petitions were deleted. I would like to report about this insolent, blatant and disgusting behavior of Canadian government and Canadian Parliament, and kindly ask you to share this information as much as possible, as soon as you can. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your activities. All the best to you. Bye.